Hi, I'm Elizabeth Chapman here with Trendy Crafts, and I am here to tell you about our Rainbows and Unicorn curriculum. Let's start with our kit. Each instructor is given a kit at the beginning of the semester, and your kit list will be included in your instructions this time. Your kit has all of your things like Sharpies, Mod Podge, scissors, colored pencils, etc. But what I want to highlight right now is a few kit additions for Rainbows and Unicorns. Your kit additions this time will be a bag of washi tape. It's used for our frame craft. You will have a bag of rainbow colored paint for craft number 2. We'll go over these in a moment. You'll have a hot glue gun for your magnet craft and an iron for our fuse beads craft. Let's start with week number 1. The first class with Trendy Crafts always takes a bit longer than normal. You're gathering the children for the first time, finding the classroom, getting to know everyone, making sure everybody's there. So by the time you actually get to the craft, we've found in our experience it's better to have a bit quicker of a craft with less supplies. So week number 1, we actually have the all wonderful squishies. They're as hot as can be. Kids are super into them. So we have unicorn squishies or star squishies that will be decorated with Sharpies. Sharpies are a kid favorite. They don't get access to them a lot. They're gonna love it. We have fine-tipped Sharpies and larger tipped Sharpies. Each of them work great. The kids will decide what they wanna do and how they wanna decorate it. They'll all turn out different. It's gonna be fabulous. When they finish with their squishy, they have a second craft for the first day. It's a slap bracelet. They decorate it themselves, once again, with the Sharpies that are already out, fine Sharpies and a little thicker. They decorate it. I've been telling the children when we were testing it to put something cool on the inside with their own creativity, decorate the outside, and they slap their bracelet on at the end. Once they complete those 2 projects, your bag is also packed with pastry bags. They can decorate those if time allows, pack up all their goods, and head home. Reassure the parents that although these are kind of pre-made crafts the first day, we get more creative as we go on. That's week 1. Okay, week number 2 for Rainbows and Unicorns. Week number 2 is a ceramic piggy bank. Not a pig, it's a rainbow. Be very gentle with these. They're ceramic. It'll be devastating if one breaks. I don't think it'll happen. So how these are packed, the main thing I want to tell you is if you have a class of 10, they will be packed in this bag. It'll be packed for 10. If you have a bag packed for 15, your bag will look like this. It will have 3 banks in it. It will have the take-home sacks, it will have your plates, and it'll also have your plastic cups for water. But your remaining 12 will be in a box like this, which will be labeled with week 2. Just something to keep in mind. So with this craft, you're gonna use your rainbow paint that's in your kit, and your kids are gonna have different techniques for painting. So how I would do it is give each child a plate with each of the 6 colors on it, small amounts to start. You can always go back and add more. They're going to have their brush. You can have their water cups shared amongst 2 students. And the students are going to start painting. In sample making, I found that it probably is easier to start with the smaller colors and go out. Kids' instincts are going to be to start with the red and paint the top. The saving grace on this is the ceramic soaks up the paint. It dries really fast, so you won't have any issues with that, whichever way they choose. They can paint both sides or just one side. And the last thing they may want to do is you have white paint in with your kit. You can dilute the blue and they can do the clouds. They're going to be creative. They're all going to turn out different. You don't think they can, but they will. Okay, we're on week number 3, Rainbows and Unicorns. Awesome wooden frames that we use, an abundance of washi tape and gems. Super fun project. You'll use your washi tape that's in with your kit, and your gems and toothpicks and glue cups will be packed in with the craft. You're also going to have a rainbow unicorn coloring sheet, which is great for the frames while they're drying. The gems are drying, it's lying flat, you set it to the side. The kids can use colored pencils to color their sheet and put it in. Great craft, they're gonna love it. All right. Craft number 4 for Rainbows and Unicorns. We are working on unicorn magnets. This is such a fun craft. So in your craft bag, you're going to have your coloring sheets, and the kids will use colored pencils on these, and they can color them in. They can make some of their own designs. They will then cut them out. You will have Mod Podge cups in your bag. Just a few tips for working on the magnets. Make sure that when the students are Mod Podging, they're going to paint it onto their magnet first. And they're going to place their picture face down so it shows through on the other side. Super important. And then once they do that, they're going to go ahead and cover that back with a nice layer, sealing the edges. The students will need to write their names on their paper plates, and they'll put their 2 magnets on there, Mod Podge side up so it can dry. And they will then bring those over to you where you have your hot glue gun set up and you are gluing their magnets on. Week 5, it's our watercolor craft. Students will receive a pre-printed watercolor page. You will have your paints in your kit. What you'll do as a teacher is you're going to cut each of these little strips. The students will get 3 colors each. And they'll have their brushes in your main kit and little water cups, and we even pack your water for you. And the students will just gently use a technique of adding a little bit of water to their paint and completing their pre-printed page. Once they're finished, they can get to their own creativity. We've included plain paper, and they're welcome to draw and then watercolor something of their own choice. Okay, week 6, rainbows and unicorns. The students will be using fuse beads, or known as perler beads. First time for Trendy Crafts, so we're super excited to introduce this new crafting element. This is an interesting one. Each student's pack comes pre-packaged. We're going to try this for a little bit. And inside this package, they are going to have their fuse bead plate that they will lay their beads down onto. They're going to get the unicorn instructions. Each student will have their own copy. And they have a little piece of this parchment paper that comes with it. You will need this when you iron. So the students then will follow the directions. Their perler beads are all in the package. They will lay them out according to the color chart. This will take a little bit of time. That's great. It's an hour class. Once their project is laid out, it will be wiggly. So be sure to have them not get out of their seat and try to carry it to you. Have them raise their hand, let you know they're done. You, as the instructor, will set up your iron in a safe place in the classroom, and you will let it heat up and keep the children away from it at all times. I think the best way to do this will be to take each student's perler bead project and you carry it over to where you're ironing, just to minimize the risk of fall. And so once it's laid out, you'll have your iron plugged in and heated up. All you're going to do is your eyeball will not be on the project at that point. It comes with the eyeball, it won't be on there. You're going to lay your paper over it, and you'll use your iron for about 10 or 15 seconds, and just make sure it's evenly on it. I kind of rotate the iron around a little bit to make sure heat is hitting everywhere. Once that's done, you'll pull it off, flip it over, put the paper back down, and heat the other side just so they don't come apart. They are going to be warm when they're done being heated, so kind of set it aside, give it a few minutes before you hand them back to the students. Once the students have it back, they can peel the sticker off the little eyeball that comes in their set and put it on their unicorn. In your instructor bag, you will have an extra bag of perler fuse beads that you can then hand out. Students can choose to be a little more creative. They can use their little board and create something else. You can encourage the students to fill in with extra perler beads around their unicorn if they want. There's all sorts of ideas, and you will be so surprised at how creative they are. At the end of that craft, you are welcome to, if the students want to take their parchment paper and their board home because they might have fuse beads at home, or they may have a few extra from the day, that's fine. There are pastry bags included. They can put their extras in. If students do not want to take their backer board and their paper, please collect it and store it with the extras because we will use it again here at Trendy Crafts. Okay, we are on week 7, Trendy Crafts, Rainbows and Unicorns, and this project is so fun. It's a paper lantern with rainbow heart tissue on it. So the most important thing in this project is when you are unpacking the lanterns, I have to cut it. They come flat. The instructions are in with them. Just encourage the students to be very careful, and they might need your help because they get very upset if the lantern rips. It's not the biggest deal in the world. If it does, you can just advise them to place a tissue heart over it. But the best thing is to just help them put it together or really encourage them to be careful. So you'll have that, you'll get it put together. The students will get Mod Podge in their little cups, and they can then paint their Mod Podge onto the lantern, press their tissue heart onto it, and once they're on there, it's nice to paint a thin layer of Mod Podge over everything, give it a nice shine and protect it all. This semester we have all different size and shapes of hearts in here, so that'll be a lot of fun. We do not have lights anymore. For a couple of seasons we gave out little LED lights. Unfortunately, they are a hazard. So you will have ribbon. If students want a length of about 1 foot of ribbon, you can pass that out. Some may pass, others may love it. Tell them you're sorry about the lights. Week number 8, Rainbows and Unicorns. Traditionally in our semester, our classes used to be 8 weeks, so we always have week 8 as a Canvas project. Interestingly enough, you're going to know your students very well by week 8. So I'm going to give you a wide parameter on this Canvas project. You will have star stickers and a unicorn cutout. You may have leftover gems from other projects. You have your rainbow paint in your kit. If you have a class of 15, and some of them are a little more out of their seat than others, getting out 2 or more paint colors on the last class might not seem like a great idea. You are welcome to leave the canvas white and have the students spend their time craft podging on the unicorn and the stars. You could use leftover washi tape around the edges. They can do this project. It will be so exciting and beautiful without paint. However, if you have a class of 7 students who are often wanting to be challenged for more, super creative, love to clean up and help at the end of class, by all means, get all the paint out. Remember though, painting would be the first layer. This will all be in your written instructions. You'll have to wait for the paint to dry before you can Mod Podge on the unicorn. You'll have to wait for the craft Mod Podge to dry before you can put on the stars and the gems. So knowing how fast your students are, knowing what level of cleanliness they can handle, this will be where you get to use your knowledge as an instructor to make the right call on your project. If your class has over 8 classes, this is week 9, which is wish boxes. Our unicorn wish boxes are adorable little tins that the students can decorate with Sharpies and gemstones and a unicorn decal. Once they've decorated their box, they come with little slips of colored paper, and the students can write their wishes, their prayers, whatever it is that they're wanting to write down and manifest. Okay, we are at week 10 of Rainbows and Unicorns. This is a time-tested favorite of Trendy Crafts. It's our puzzle. The unicorn puzzle is packed with a stencil to draw this exact unicorn and also bingo blotters. And the way this project goes is you'll pass out the puzzles, encourage the students to keep them together, and they can take turns using the stencils with Sharpies and encourage creativity. Maybe they want to draw their own unicorn. That's great. They want to add some details. Fantastic. Once everybody has used the stencil they wanted or free drawn what they'd like with the Sharpies, pick up all the Sharpies, put them away, and get out the bingo blotters. At that time, students can get super creative with these inky blotters. Let them know that, the ink spreads to go slow and careful, but they're going to have a great time with this. When their puzzle's completed, have them push it aside to dry. It will be wet for about 10 minutes. And at that time, they'll have take-home bags packed up. They can use their bingo blotters on their take-home bags, write their name on it. Once you clean up the blotters and everything is dry, if you still have class time left, encourage the students to grab a partner and build their puzzle together. We're here at week 11, Rainbows and Unicorns. This is the stained glass unicorn project. You will be packed with the outlines of the stained glass unicorn and lots of tissue paper. This is a super relaxing craft for the students. They'll use their scissors or they can hand tear it, and they will, with a glue stick, lay their tissue paper in any color assortment they want and create their stained glass unicorn. A popular thing that happens with this is the students are gluing their pieces on the back and they want to flip it over and check their work and see how beautiful it looks, and it does. However, they often lay it back down on the wrong side and proceed to begin gluing pieces on that side, which when they pick it back up, they realize the mistake. So let them know before they start that that's a common thing that happens, and it cuts down on the amount of time that happens. We're here at week 12 of Rainbows and Unicorns. Week 12 is a paper banner. It will be packed up. It's a small package, and students will be making a unicorn-themed paper banner. These are llamas. All the instructions will show it, and this is a really creative one. The students will choose their pieces, and they will lay their banner out. They will all turn out different. They're all fabulous. I don't even know if anybody has 12 classes this semester, so you may not see it. Thank you so much, instructors. We're super excited for you to be out in the field teaching rainbows and unicorns for Trendy Crafts. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to text or call me anytime. And have fun. Remember, this is exciting, this is fun. We love crafting.